Reneé, you've been so vulnerable, so gracious, so kind with your time today. I'm so grateful to get to know you today. And thank you for letting us into your mind. I really feel when I was sitting with you today, I was like, you really just kind of opened up your mind and let us walk in. And I appreciate that because it's hard to do that. And I felt like you opened up some cupboards and some drawers and so, but Reneé, we end every On Purpose episode with a fast 5. These final 5 have to be answered in 1 word to 1 sentence maximum.
Okay.
I may ask you to expand and I'll let you know. All right. So, Reneé, these are your final 5 or fast 5. Question 1, what is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Integrity over everything.
Okay, great. Yeah. Second question, what is the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
Oh, just stop trying to care. My God. I used to hear that all the time growing up. God.
Yeah, you are going to care.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Now I care more because I care about not caring. It's ridiculous.
Oh, God. That's a good one. We've never had that on the show before. I like that. All right. Question number 3. What's a part of yourself that you're most deeply trying to love?
This is very 2 things for me. First and foremost, my mistakes, things that I've done that I don't agree with, the things that I've done that I'm not proud of. I'm trying to make peace with them, I guess is a better word, and do better from them. And second, honestly, is somebody with incredible, lengths of difficulty of eating disorders, my body and the skin that I live in and my vessel that I just operate in. Very, very hard for me. So hard for me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, question number 4. What's something that you think people value but you don't really value?
Keeping it cool all the time.
Oh, interesting.
I'm very pro, and this is just who I am. I guess maybe how I was raised or how I work. I'm not sure. I love to just let your emotions get the best of themselves sometimes. I think that's really important. At least it is for me. I'm very, very anti keep it in and deal with it and try to regulate your emotions. I think that if you need them to be big in a way, let them be big in a way that feels safe and careful for yourself and the people you're around. Because if not, then that's just so stupid. I was shamed for so many years. This is not a short answer. I was shamed for so many years of my life for being so hyper emotional and crying so much and getting angry so fast. And that is something I don't value, the being quiet and the controlling your emotions and keeping things at bay. I value being very true to how you feel, whether that's a good feeling or not.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And how have you found a way of doing that in a way that it doesn't, you said a statement, you're to be mindful of you didn't say mindful, but you said to be aware of how it affects yourself and people you love. How do you kind of get that? Because sometimes, like you said, an emotion can be so big and so real and so visceral, but then how do you kind of, how have you found a way to do that? Or at least how are you trying to find a way to do that?
I have, in beating myself up less, I'm not a physical danger to myself. Which is great because I used to get really, really, really angry and I would so many people do. I don't know what it is or what it isn't. My dad and I have talked about this at length because he said he did the same thing as I did as a kid. But I would either bang my head against the wall or hit my arms or things like that or tweak out or freak out. And the more I've stopped beating myself up for it, and the more I've just been oh, these are just things that I feel, and I feel in a really big way. And the more I'm around people who allow me to feel in a big way, the less I hurt myself. The less I feel the need to bang my head against the wall. I feel if I'm around somebody who's oh, this is upsetting you, that's okay that upsets you. I don't even get to that point. So for me, it's about the company I keep and the things that people are saying to me. That being said, I also know that certain people in my life, my mom, for instance, is the greatest. My mom does not like to see me incredibly upset all the time. And that's not to say she can't deal with me upset, but that is to say that I'm an adult and I know that I don't want to put my mother through turmoil every day by calling her and telling her the 10 things that upset me because she lives 3,000 miles away from me and will panic. So it's it's about going to the right people. And I go to her, of course, but not in a way that is going to upset her or hurt her day because she's my mama. But yeah, I think the company you keep is important.
Fifth and final question.
Okay.
If you could create, we ask this to every single guest who's ever been on.
Okay.
If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
What's a law?
A law.
What is that? Oh, a law.
A law. Sorry, my accent. My accent. Yeah, I was like, a law.
What is a law?
No, like folklore. No, law.
That is the right law.
A law.
A law. No, say lore. I like it.
Law.
What is one law or lore that I would like everybody to follow? I grew up in North Carolina. I grew up in the South. Like, I would love a law where everybody was just like not so hateful. Personally, I would love that. The town that I grew up in, like, you drive right out of the neighborhood, and that's like a dangerous place for like friends of mine to be in. I would love if we just like maybe weren't like incredibly hateful.
That's a good law.